precision, their bioluminescent forms crackling with predatory energy. For 3 galactic cycles, they had terrorized the outer colonies, harvesting sentient species for their illegal gladiatorial arenas. Humans, according to their intelligence networks, were soft-bodied weaklings from a garden world, perfect candidates for their collection. Commander HFY flexed his razor-sharp appendages as he studied the terrain below. The landing site appeared to be some sort of recreational facility adjacent to what their sensors indicated was a human offspring rearing complex. Perfect, young specimens were always easier to subdue and more entertaining in the arena. Scan shows minimal adult presence, reported his Lieutenant Vorth. Multiple juvenile life signs concentrated in the open area. This should be efficient. The hunting party descended, expecting to find frightened younglings cowering at their approach. Instead, they discovered something that would haunt HFY for the remainder of his considerably shortened lifespan. The human children were playing. 8-year-old Maya Chen was in the middle of explaining the rules of zombie tag to her friend Jake when the aliens landed. The playground, a twisted maze of metal structures, swings suspended by chains, and elevated platforms connected by rope bridges, seemed to pause for exactly 3 seconds as 30 young humans assessed the new arrivals. "Cool costumes," shouted Tommy from atop the monkey bars. "Are you here for the Halloween party early?" HFY raised his particle disruptor, expecting immediate surrender. Instead, Maya tilted her head with the peculiar curiosity that marked her species. "You guys look like the monsters from Jake's video game," she observed, then brightened. "Want to play tag? We need more players and you look really fast." The HFY commander had conquered 17 worlds. He had faced the crystalline warriors of Xerion Prime, the hive minds of the Outer Nebula, and the energy beings of the Void Realm. He was not prepared for a human child to suggest a game. "We are the HFY," he roared, bioluminescent patches flaring in an intimidation display that had sent entire battalions fleeing. "You will surrender immediately or face—" "Oh, are we playing pretend?" Maya interrupted, clapping her hands together. "I love pretend. Okay, so you're the space monsters and we're the defenders of Earth." What happened next would be recorded in Galactic Council archives as the playground incident, and would fundamentally alter the galaxy's understanding of human threat assessment. The children scattered, not in terror but in tactical deployment that would have impressed a military strategist. Jake scrambled up the spiral slide backwards, achieving high ground. Sarah swung hand over hand across the monkey bars to flank the intruders. Tommy slid down a fireman's pole to ground level, while Maya grabbed a handful of wood chips from the playground's surface. "Sandbox bombardment," she yelled, hurling the makeshift ammunition with surprising accuracy. The HFY had expected pleading and tears. Instead, they found themselves under assault from creatures who seemed to view mortal peril as entertainment. Jake launched himself from the top of the slide, tackling Vorth around the waist with a gleeful surprise attack that sent the alien warrior tumbling into the sandbox. Sarah executed a maneuver that their combat analysts would later classify as incomprehensible. Swinging from a rope, releasing mid-arc, somersaulting over 2 of their soldiers, and landing behind their formation. She immediately began pelting them with mulch while making what humans called pew-pew sounds. "These juveniles are exhibiting tactical awareness," Vorth gasped as Jake sat on his chest, pinning him to the ground despite being a third of the alien's size. "How is this possible?" HFY had no answer. In 17 conquered worlds, he had never encountered children who responded to invasion with games of war. The human younglings seemed to possess an innate understanding of 3-dimensional combat, using their playground equipment like natural fortifications. Maya reappeared at the top of a jungle gym, having flanked his position through a network of tunnels designed for creatures half her size. She held a stick she had apparently weaponized during her ascent. "Surrender now, space monster," she declared, pointing her improvised sword at him. "The power of friendship compels you." "This is impossible," HFY muttered. "These are offspring. They should be helpless." "Helpless?" Maya laughed, the sound somehow more terrifying than any war cry he had ever heard. "Mister, we play on this playground every day. Do you know what this place is?" HFY's translator struggled with the concept she conveyed next. The human word playground apparently meant training ground for survival in hostile environments designed to challenge developing warriors. The equipment he had dismissed as primitive recreational devices was, in fact, an elaborate obstacle course that human younglings navigated daily for enjoyment. The swings taught trajectory and momentum. The monkey bars built upper body strength and coordination. The climbing walls developed problem-solving skills and agility. The slides trained rapid deployment from elevated positions. Every piece of equipment that seemed innocent was actually conditioning these juveniles for combat scenarios. "This is a military installation," he breathed in horror. "It's a playground," Maya corrected cheerfully, then whistled sharply. "Okay, everyone, new game. It's called Capture the Alien." The human children converged with terrifying efficiency. They had been playing together for years, developing non-verbal communication and coordinated tactics through games whose names belied their tactical complexity. Red Rover was formation fighting. Hide and seek was stealth training. Tag was pursuit and evasion. Within minutes, the entire Kethvar hunting party found themselves captured, surrounded, by giggling human children who had somehow managed to confiscate their weapons, and were now engaged in an animated discussion about whether aliens counted as base in their next game. When the human adults arrived, teachers, responding to reports of strangers on the playground, they found their children had successfully neutralized a galactic threat using nothing more than 8 years of recreational training and unlimited enthusiasm. Maya looked up at her teacher, Mrs. Patterson, with bright eyes. "Can we keep them? They're really good at playing monster, and Jake says his mom might let us have a sleepover if we ask nicely." The Galactic Council would later implement what became known as the Death World Protocol, reclassifying Earth from easy conquest to avoid at all costs. The official report noted that if human children could neutralize trained warriors using playground equipment, engaging their fully developed adults would constitute a suicide mission. Zex High, when questioned during his war crimes tribunal, could only repeat one phrase. They thought it was a game. They were 8 years old and they thought Mortal Kombat was a game. The playground remained unchanged, except for a small plaque installed by the Galactic Council. Warning: active training facility for Deathworld inhabitants. Approach with extreme caution. The human children, oblivious to their new galactic reputation, continued playing tag every day at recess, never knowing they had just redefined humanity's place among the stars.